Hey everyone, it's Amanda. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm doing a full face of Charlotte Tilbury, which I'm so excited to do. I've been wanting to do this video for a while. I just didn't have a couple products and now I have them and I am so excited about them. Before we hop into it, comment down below what your favorite Charlotte Tilbury product is. I really want to know because Charlotte Tilbury is a brand that I honestly love, but sometimes things can be a little bit hit and miss. So let me know which one is your favorite. Also, before we get into it, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and hit the bell notification so you don't miss any future uploads. But without further ado, let's get right into it. All right, so I'm going to be starting with my base today, and I am so excited to do my base because I'm using some products from Charlotte Tilbury that I've never used before, but I've seen literally everywhere. I feel like I'm one of the last ones to hop on this trend. Obviously, I'm starting with the Hollywood Flawless Filter. Can you guys believe I have not tried this yet? I have been wanting to try it for a really long time. I honestly don't know why I haven't. So I ordered the shade number 1. I was kind of between shade 1 and 2, but I'm honestly glad I got shade 1 because I think it's gonna be the perfect shade for me. So this is my first time using it, but when I see people use it, they kind of just like put it everywhere. I've heard some people say they can wear it on its own. Some people use it as like an illuminating primer. I'm gonna use it as a primer today, but I'm really curious to see what this looks like because upon first glance, I don't know if I would wear this on its own, but we'll see. So I mainly applied it all over my face. I definitely was pretty generous with it, so hopefully I didn't go too overboard. But yeah, I just kind of applied it all over my face. I love the Doe Foot applicator. It's really nice and big and easy to apply. So I'm just gonna use a flat kabuki brush to blend that out. So I definitely see why people say that they would wear this on their own. It's definitely not too crazy of a glow. It's really pretty actually. I am really loving the way this is looking just on its own. I am glad I got the shade 1 instead of 2 because I think 2 would have been a bit too dark for my skin tone. So if you are in a similar kind of shade range to me, very fair, I would stick with shade number 1. It even warmed my skin up a little bit, which is a nice touch. So far, this product has lived up to the hype. I think it's really pretty and it blended out so nicely, super easily. Okay, so another product I haven't personally tried on myself. I've used this product a few times on clients and I've absolutely loved it. I just never got my correct shade. So this is the Beautiful Skin Foundation. I got it in the shade 1 Neutral, brand new in the box. All right, so I just took a full pump on the back of my hand and I'm just gonna apply it using the same brush that I used the Hollywood Flawless Filter. So I'm just kind of pressing it into the skin, kind of just like stippling it in because I noticed when I was initially applying it, I was kind of dragging it and it looks like I may have disrupted the product underneath a little bit. Nothing crazy though, but just something to be mindful of. All right, so again, I'm pretty glad I went with 1 Neutral. I was gonna go with a darker tone. Definitely glad I didn't. My skin looks a little bit warmer than my body, but it doesn't really matter too much to me. Once I brighten with concealer, I think it'll actually look pretty good. So initial thoughts on the foundation. The combination is definitely really glowy, which I actually don't hate. It's like, it's a little bit much, just a little bit if I were being really picky. But I think once I apply concealer and a little bit of powder in certain areas, it'll be really, really beautiful. So going in with concealer now, I'm using the new Beautiful Skin Radiant Concealer. I'm going to apply this under my eyes, in the center of my forehead, down my nose, center of the chin, just kind of the center points of my face that I kind of want to highlight and bring forward. And I really, really like this concealer. Honestly, I've been using it almost every day since I got it. It's honestly replaced my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer for the moment. I just think they did a great job on this concealer. Taking my Rare Beauty concealer brush, I'm just going to buff that concealer out. So that is what the complexion is looking like. Very glowy, I would say pretty light coverage overall, especially the foundation. I was kind of hoping after I applied concealer, I would feel a little better about the coverage, but I do find myself wishing, for me personally, it had a tiny bit more coverage just to give me more of that flawless effect. This skin look is kind of like the model off duty, no makeup kind of look, super glowy, really minimal coverage, kind of like that glass skin effect as well. My only takeaways are it's a little bit glowy, but nothing we can't fix with powder, and I would like a little bit more coverage just personally, but again, not a huge deal. For contour, I'm going to be using my Nudesix face palette, and I'm going to be dipping into the shade Soft Sculpt. I really love how this shade is a bit more of a gray toned contour. I really personally gravitate towards those shades because it actually looks more like my face is sculpted and there's actual like shadows on my face versus bronzer, if that makes sense. And these products are really creamy and easy to blend as well. Where I like to focus this is right on the hollows of my cheeks and even a little bit on the edges of my nose just to contour a little bit. And what I like to do is I like to just stipple the foundation brush that I use over the edges of my contour just to give it a really nice seamless blend. Before we move into eyes, I'm just gonna set around my face a little bit, primarily under my eyes. I'm going to use the Airbrush Flawless Finish Skin Perfecting Micro Powder in the shade Fair. This is something I use almost every day and I've gone through multiples of these. I've hit pan on the one I have now. This is a constant favorite for me. I reach for this very often. I think it's a beautiful setting powder. I'm also gonna set my smile lines with this powder as well. I don't like around my mouth looking shiny. I'm also just gonna take a tiny bit of that powder on this big fluffy brush and just dust it on my forehead just to reduce the shine a little bit. I wanna keep it glowy, but I just wanna kind of take it down a little bit. Okay, so now moving on to eyes, I think I'm gonna stick with the theme of kind of like a no makeup, kind of soft model off duty vibes. So for eyes, I'm going to use the Pillow Talk Luxury palette, and I'm going to use the Smoke shade and just run that throughout my crease just to give my eyes a little bit of dimension. And I'm just kind of alternating between the brush that I picked up the color with and a clean blending brush just because I really want this to look natural and seamless. So I find when I use a clean brush, kind of diffuse the edges, it works really well. I don't end up adding too much product so that it looks heavy. I'm also just gonna drag that same shade underneath my eye on my lower lash line. I'm mainly gonna focus this on the outer half of my eye. So now I'm going to go in with the Prime shade, which is just like a light kind of shimmery champagne color, and I'm going to apply that all over the lid. And of course, what I do on the top, I'm going to do on the bottom. So I'm also going to be applying this on my lower lash line, just on the inner half. All right, so far I really like the way the eyes are looking. I like how natural and soft it looks. Honestly, this is the first time that I've used this Pillow Talk palette, and I actually think it's really pretty, especially if you like light kind of no makeup looks and you kind of gravitate towards the same thing. This is a really nice palette. You've got 2 shimmer colors for all over the lid and 2 transition colors. I think it's a really good palette. I'm gonna add a little bit of shimmer to the lids because I love the shimmer so much. I think it is such a unique shade, super underrated. This is from their Instant Look of Love in a palette. I recently featured this in the Doing My Makeup with 5 Products tutorial. I'll put that one on the screen if you wanna check it out. But this shade is just something else. It's so special. It applies like a wet kind of glossy look. It doesn't look like a chunky shimmery shade. I've honestly never really used anything like it. The closest thing I could compare is the PatMcGrath shimmers. But yeah, I'm just gonna pop this on the lid. All right, so I'm pretty happy with the way the eyes look. I think they look really soft and glowy. I'm gonna add a little bit of liner now. I'm using the Classic Eye Powder Pencil in the shade Classic Brown, and I'm just going to apply that on my lids and blend it out a little bit with an angled brush to give it a soft, diffused look. I'm keeping this pretty tight to my lash line and only applying it halfway across my lid. All right, so I'm pretty happy with that shape, so I'm gonna reach for my angled brush now and just diffuse it a little bit. And that is what that liner is looking like. Honestly, that pencil applied really smoothly and it blended out super nice. I like the color. It's a very cool brown. It's not too dark. It doesn't overpower my eyes at all. So yeah, I'm actually really happy with the way that looks. So to add the finishing touches to the eyes, I'm gonna use this double-ended pencil. One side is a dark brown and one side is a light nude. So I'm going to use the dark brown shade on my waterline and then the light nude shade on my tight line. So by applying the darker shade on the lash line, this will actually exaggerate our lash line and make it look like our lashes are longer and more full. Adding the light nude color on the lower lash line will give us the illusion of a bigger, brighter eye. So for lashes, I'm doing something kind of fun. I'm using this like berry brown mascara. This is their Pillow Talk Push-Up Lashes mascara in the color Dream Pop. And I'm just gonna apply a couple coats of this on the lashes. I think the color is super pretty and unique, especially for green eyes. I feel like this would make your eyes pop so much. So that's with one coat. I honestly think that looks so pretty. It's very different from a normal black mascara, but I kind of like it. I maybe wouldn't reach for this for every day, but for a soft look like this, it really just brings some extra attention to the eyes. I don't know, what do you guys think? By the way, I'm gonna link everything down below, so if you're interested in any of the products that I mentioned, definitely check that out. So I'm mainly just gonna fill in any gaps. I'm not really gonna do too much shaping. I'm gonna keep my brows pretty nice and natural. This brow pencil has a really thin tip, so I'm able to draw hair-like strokes, so it keeps my brows looking just really fluffy and natural. To set the brows, I'm going in with the Brow Fix Clear Brow Gel. This is just a good go-to clear brow gel. It holds the brows in place and the brows still look natural and fluffy without being too crunchy. Now for blush, this is one of my favorite products from Charlotte Tilbury at the moment. I literally use this so much, I'm almost out of it and I'm gonna repurchase immediately. This is their Glowgasm Beauty Light Wand. This is in the shade Pinkgasm and this is just the prettiest pink blush. It is super glowy, easy to apply, easy to blend. I am just honestly obsessed with it. I love this blush. If you like a glowy, blushy look, you need to try this. I'm using my favorite blush brush. This one's from Rare Beauty. This blends out all my cream blushes like a dream. How pretty does that blush look? Look at that glow and it's so natural. You really look like lit from within. I just love this blush. So moving on to the lips, I couldn't find my Pillow Talk lip liner. That's one I generally use by Charlotte Tilbury. I love that one, but since I couldn't find it, I'm gonna go in with their lip cheat in Super Size Me, which is a good alternative. This one's actually really good for overlining your lips, which is what I do. I kind of just overfill the Cupid's bow and the bottom center portion of my lip for a juicy, pouty kind of look. So for lips, I'm going to use a classic. I'm just going in with Pillow Talk and I'm going to apply that with a lip brush just to kind of give it a more diffused, natural look on the lips versus applying it straight from the tube. I think that lip color is so pretty. I find this Pillow Talk shade just is so flattering on so many different skin tones, so I really do love it and I honestly gravitate to it often for everyday wear. To finish off the cheeks, I sometimes like to layer a powder blush on top of that liquid blush we applied earlier. This one is my favorite. This is their Cheek to Chic Swish and Pop blusher in the shade Ecstasy. This is such a beautiful color. This is great for every day. It's just a really pretty, soft, peachy pink color. In case you couldn't tell, I am a big fan of blush, so honestly, in my opinion, the more the better. To finish off the cheek, I'm gonna pop a little bit of highlighter on my cheekbones. I'm using this Pillow Talk Multi Glow in the shade Romance Light, and I'm just applying this pretty sparingly because this highlight can be a little bit intense and I just want a subtle glow on the high points of my face. To lock it all in, I'm just gonna set my face using the Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. This one is scented with the white tea of Bali, and I am obsessed with the way this smells. Unfortunately, I don't think they sell this anymore, but they sell the original, which is good as well. All right, that is it for my full face of Charlotte Tilbury. I hope you guys liked this tutorial. If you did, do not forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and also hit the bell notification so you don't miss any future uploads from me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.